When you are on the go, you need your credit union to be right there with you. Hughes Federal Credit Union makes your life easier. For 65 years, Hughes has called Southern Arizona home and has given back to our community. Isn't that who you want as your financial partner?
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. GH, big news earlier this week. Sean Miller has been named the Pac-12 Coach of the Year. He had some company. I mean, this was a good year for Pac-12 coaches. Dana Altman, Steve Alford, Larry Kraskowiak, all on down the line. What made Sean Miller stand out?
The turbulence he dealt with.
Okay.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me was Chance Comanche went from 3 minutes a game to 19.
Right.
That's almost unprecedented in Arizona history. Okay. A player, a rotation player, gaining 16 minutes in a year, doesn't happen.
Wow.
Doesn't happen.
And then you look at Kobe Simmons, a guy who I think was possibly their best player in their best game, which was that win over UCLA, and now kind of less impactful.
1 point in the last 2 games leading to the tournament. There's another element. No Pac-12 coach gets back-to-back Coach of the Year.
Right.
Happened twice in history, once with Lute and once with Mike Montgomery.
Right.
Just doesn't happen. The coaches vote for it.
Right.
I don't think they're going to go, oh boy, I can't wait to vote for Dana Altman again. So.
Well, and you're judged for Coach of the Year relative to the preseason expectations. And so if you won it the year before, it's probably because you won the league. And if you win the league again, well, shoot, that's what you were supposed to do. I mean, that's why Dana Altman did not win this year.
You remember this too. Washington State's Tony Bennett.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, replacing his father like in 2008 or so. Went 26-8, went to the tournament, was a killer team. Easily Pac-12 Coach of the Year. The next year he went 27-7 and didn't get it with the same guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and they weren't NBA guys.
No.
You just don't win it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. When you look at sort of Sean Miller's coaching jobs throughout his time at Arizona, where does this rank?
I thought 2011 finish was the best, don't you?
Yes. Derek Williams.
Yeah. I mean, that was the power of one.
Right. Beating Duke.
Yeah.
Killing Duke. Still, it's still the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as your brother Patrick and I know, we were sitting right on the angle when Jamel Horn's three-pointer to send him to the Final Four looked like it was in, didn't go in.
Didn't go in. I was on the other side of Patrick there.
Yeah.
And as it went up, I seem to remember somebody going, Houston or Final Four.
Yeah.
It was him. And no, rimmed out.
But, yeah, I thought that was Sean Miller's, well, the moment you remember the most.
Right.
Because in 14 and 15 when they were Wisconsin,
Right.
You didn't go away with happy memories.
Right. The NCAA tournament is so much about things out of your control, right? Last year, Arizona got sent to an upset we could all see coming
Brutal.
a mile away,
Yeah.
right? You look at the Wisconsin stuff, Sam Decker, the greatest day of his life.
Yeah.
Frank Kaminsky, the greatest day of his life. So much of this is luck.
Oh, man.
If you are a head coach, how do you keep your team focused, knowing that you could be knocked out on your butt by something out of your control?
Wow, for $3.5 million, I would answer that question. Otherwise, I'm like the rest of us who turn on the TV and go, oh, wow.
Yeah. But he always talks about sort of, the process and staying in the moment and all of that. Is that the key to his success as a coach here, is keeping guys kind of focused on the team in what has become a very singular sport?
100%.
Yeah.
That's him. That's everything is, there's no outside interference. It's just this inner circle with no interferences.
How did that compare to Lute?
Lute was, I wouldn't have said it then, but I'd say it now, he was freewheeling.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
You could go into the hotel suite and he would have a beer with you.
Yeah.
Not me, but a lot of people. You could see him having that beer with somebody.
Sure. Well, and it was very much reflected in the way he coached in games too. He had the 5 best athletes on the floor, and he would let you know that by playing very fast up and down, improvisational jazz basketball.
Yeah. It's funny we're talking about Coach of the Year.
Right.
In 1990, I hope this isn't too long ago, the Coach of the Year in the league was Jimmy Anderson of Oregon State.
I've never heard of Jimmy Anderson.
He replaced Ralph Miller. That was his first year, and he inherited Gary Payton.
Oh my God.
Lute Olson had lost Sean Elliott, Anthony Cook, and Kenny Lofton. And then the Pac-12 in the first week of the year, they had 2 league games. and Arizona went to Oregon State and lost by 22 points.
Oh my God.
Lute got a technical. He tried to kick the ball, missed it, almost fell down. So in the final, as it turned out, storybook, final game of the regular season, Oregon State has to play in Tucson.
Right.
Arizona beats them by 25.
Oh my God.
Arizona, they tied for the league title. Of course, Jimmy Anderson, with Gary Payton inheriting, is coach of the year, not Lute, who changed his whole roster, built it through the year, and was the best team at the end of the year.
And went on to a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Anderson
He was fired in 5 years, never had a winning season after that.
Where did he end up after that? Do you know?
He's from Corvallis. He was Ralph Miller's assistant forever, and he's still there. I saw him at the home game in Corvallis this year.
Wow. If you're looking, Greg, and then we'll wrap it up here. If there is one team who can sort of outlast the big three at the Pac-12 tournament, who is it?
In the Pac-12?
In the Pac-12. Is there a team out there who could play themselves into an automatic bid by winning this thing?
If Colorado had a point guard, I would say Colorado.
More so
Because
than Cal?
I don't like Cal at all.
Okay.
They don't work the ball to Ivan Rabb.
Right. They've scored 40 points or something in their games at Utah and Colorado last week.
I like Colorado's senior-laden lineup.
Okay.
I don't like Utah. So I would say Colorado.
Okay. That'll be interesting. To me, that is the only way this becomes sort of front page news this week, is if somebody comes from out of nowhere to win the league.
And I don't think it's going to be Oregon State.
Probably not. Unless Trace Tinkle shows up all of a sudden and can score 60. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, you got to promise me, play a dollar slot for me while you're in Vegas.
I'll put it on the Yankees.
Yankees. How about Padres to win it all? That'll give you 500 to 1.
All right, $1 on the Padres.
Done. I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.